Good evening, everyone. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. We meet on a daily basis from Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. and talk about the daily current affairs, those current affairs that are important from the perspective of your examination. So let's begin without any delay. Also, don't worry about making notes because I provide the notes through my Telegram channel that is by the name of Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. If you have any queries regarding this examination, do talk to me on my Instagram. So these are the various events that we have to cover. I gave you a question regarding 3D printing for practice. Many of you have answered it correctly and I will take up your names by the end of this class. So let's solve it together. Consider the following applications: medical and healthcare, automobile and aerospace. How many of the applications given above can be achieved with the help of 3D printing? You know what is 3D printing? Printing of objects, real objects. If you have watched that series in childhood, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, Shakalaka Boom Boom. There was a pencil that was used to create objects. So that has something to do with 3D printing only. Just we actually do that with the help of computer. A computer is needed, personal computer that is attached to the 3D printer. You just have to create the model on that computer, personal computer, and rest of the job of creating that object will be with the 3D printer itself. We have also created a workable post office that is in Bengaluru. So 3D printing can do wonders. You can create a ball, a pencil, a brick, whatever you need. Just material has to be introduced. After that, every job is done. So yes, we can get many things related, many objects we can create for medical and healthcare, for automobiles such as tires, engines, for aerospace. Everything can be achieved with the help of 3D printing. And it is known as additive manufacturing. Additive manufacturing means adding layer after layer. If you add layer after layer, it will become an object. And then what will happen? 3D printing did the print. So 1, 2, 3, all three will be correct over here. So I have already told you what is 3D printing, introduced you. This is the post office, beautiful post office in Bengaluru. It has been completely, entirely created by 3D printer only. One needs a personal computer connected to a 3D printer. Just put the model, design the model in your computer. After that, the 3D printer will take care of everything. After you press print, of course, it is capable of printing many things, objects that are related to healthcare, medical, aerospace, automobile, everything can be created. Moving on. With respect to MS Swaminathan, consider the following statements. He decided to study agriculture because of the Bengal famine. MS Swaminathan and Orville Vogel worked together extensively to invent dwarf rice variety in India. He was named the first World Food Prize laureate. So how many of the statements given above is or are correct? MS Swaminathan passed away at the age of 98. He has been an icon in making India secure when it comes to food supplies. It was at the time when India, when it went for help to different countries, the help was turned down. So Indira Gandhi ji made sure that we should be capable of outgrowing our own crops so that India becomes secure. MS Swaminathan was the one person she was looking for. He decided to pursue his research in agriculture after he saw the impacts of the Bengal famine. The first statement is definitely correct. He was also aware of certain issues that were related to climate in India. So he went to Orville Vogel and asked his help to create dwarf wheat because Orville Vogel, had already created a dwarf wheat. But Orville Vogel said that why do not you go to Norman Borlaug, and he is very well aware of the climatic situations that are ongoing in your country. He will help you a lot and he has done his research on the lines of whatever I have done to develop dwarf wheat and not rice. So second statement is incorrect. He was also named the first World Food Prize laureate. So first and third are correct, second is not. 2 only will be the correct answer. The legendary agricultural scientist Montcalm Sambasivan Swaminathan passed away at the age of 98. He is known as the father of Green Revolution. He may have passed away, but his legacy will continue. And in the 1960s and 70s, when India was lagging behind when it comes to food supplies, MS Swaminathan was the one that took India out of the abyss. There could also be questions regarding the unions or any bodies he chaired. UPSC can ask us. So just remember, he chaired an independent as the independent chairman of the Food and Agriculture Organization Council. He served as the president of the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. He also served as the president for Worldwide Fund for Nature India. Then he also served as the Director General of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. He decided to pursue his interest in agriculture because of the impacts he saw on people and animals due to the Bengal famine. Also, he changed his field and went to Agriculture College at Coimbatore. In 1954, he started working at the Central Rice Research Institute in Cuttack. There, he transferred genes for fertilizer response from Japonica varieties to Indica varieties. So, if the crops are not able to respond to fertilizers, he saw that there for the first time in 1954, and this was the first attempt to develop high yielding variety. High yielding variety means giving high output, which can respond to good soil fertility and good water management, because India was and still is dependent on monsoon a lot. So MS Swaminathan ji was very well aware what kind of climate we live in. That is why it was important to do his research. So the search for an ideal variety led him to contact American scientist Orville Vogel. He played a role in developing a dwarf wheat called Gaines, containing the dwarfing genes from dwarf wheat variety by the name of Norin 10. Norin 10 can be asked in your UPSC examination, so make sure you know that. He advised Swaminathan ji to approach Norman Borlaug. Norman Borlaug was aware of the kind of climate that was existing in India. He also would visit India soon. So in 1963, MS Swaminathan and Norman Borlaug, they started working together extensively to get the perfect wheat. And then after 5 years, 1968, the wheat revolution began. Moving on, with respect to the Conocarpus plant, consider the following statements. It is a fast-growing exotic mangrove species. The leaves of Conocarpus are palatable to plant-eating animals. That means they taste good, and that is why the animals eat them away. Roots of this species go deep inside the soil and develop extensive damage. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? This is an exotic species. It is a mangrove species, and it is very fast growing. That means it sucks out the groundwater at a very fast pace. The Gujarat government has said, no, we are not going to use this plant anymore for forest and non-forest use, because it is now taking over the entire region. They are very fast growing, and their roots also go deep into the soil, creating a lot of damage to the telecommunication lines and water lines, whatever exist for essential purposes. So yes, first is correct, that it is fast growing and exotic mangrove species. They also create a lot of damage because of the roots, and the leaves of Conocarpus are palatable. Palatable? No, it's unpalatable. Plants such as these are not liked by the habitat, the wildlife that is residing over there. So first is correct, third is correct, second is incorrect. Okay, so second, how many are correct? 2 only will be the correct answer. The Gujarat government has banned the planting of ornamental Conocarpus trees. They look very beautiful, but they are banned by the Gujarat government in forest or non-forest use. And also it has been a popular choice for increasing the green cover in Gujarat. Now they are regretting it. Trees of this species flower in winter. They spread pollen in nearby areas. That creates problems such as for asthmatic people, for people who are very prone to sinus, cold and cough. Also, roots of the species damage extensively the lines which we lay beneath the road because of their roots, and the leaves of it are unpalatable to plant eating animals. They are not liked by cows and etc. etc. With respect to the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, consider the following statements. It was founded, beg your pardon, let me put 1 8 over here. It was founded in 1950 by Maulana Abul Kalam Azad ji, independent India's first culture minister. It is an autonomous body under the Ministry of External Affairs. So which of the statements given above is or are correct? I have time and again told you, there are certain points in your statements or certain data in your statements that are going to be correct. Certain data is going to be incorrect. UPSC loves that because they know that the students will be nervous in the examination hall. So let's try them. Bureaucrats are supposed to work under constant pressure. If you're thinking after you qualify this examination, you will be provided a bed of roses to lay at, or something other, such as you will not have any other pressure. Please do not believe that. You will work under a lot of pressure for initial few years. After that, if you become a good bureaucrat, a policy maker, then some things can be done about it. So yes, it was founded in 1950 by Maulana Abul Kalam Azad ji. This is definitely correct. But he was India's first education minister, but not culture minister. So first statement is incorrect. Students will read just this much and then tick the wrong answer. It is an autonomous body which is working under the Ministry of External Affairs. Ministry of Culture could have been written over here, but it works under the Ministry of External Affairs. So this is how you have to develop a resilience against this examination. Know well. Alright, first is incorrect, second is correct, 2 only will be the correct answer. The 4th edition of the Indo-Latin America Cultural Festival is being organized by the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, and it has begun recently in New Delhi. There are 34 artists who have come from Colombia, Ecuador and Chile. Now, ICCR is an autonomous body, as I told you this much part. He was independent India's first education minister, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad ji. Remember, the founder as well. The basic aim to create such a council is to ensure India's cultural influence over other countries are increasing, and our relationship with these countries, other countries, are developing on a cultural basis as well, because this is one of our soft powers. ICCR has 19 regional centers that are spread all over India. With respect to Asian Games 2022, arrange the following countries from highest to lowest on the basis of medal tally. India is doing great, but we are still not doing great as compared to other countries. We have to work a lot, but still we have performed better as compared to last few years at the Asian Games. India, Republic of Korea, Japan and Thailand. Choose the correct answer using the following codes. See, India is actually ranked at 4th. First, People's Republic of China has total number of 177 medals, and this is updated as of 1 p.m. And 27 bronze it has, 55 silver. PRC has 95 gold medal. Republic of Korea has 89, 24 gold, 24 silver and 41 bronze. Then Japan has 20 gold, 31 silver, 32 bronze. Total medal tally is 83. India is at 4th position with 8 gold, 12 silver, 12 bronze, and we have 32 medals in total. First, of course, PRC, then Republic of Korea, Japan, India. Here we have Thailand at 5th. And let's see. First, of course, India is over here. India is ranked 4th. Republic of Korea and Japan are doing better than us. Republic of Korea, Japan. Okay, so first we will have Republic of Korea, then Japan, then India, then Thailand. 2314 will be the correct answer. 2314 option B is the correct answer. Alright, let's move on. This is Asian Games 2022 happening in China. With reference to the Monetary Policy Committee, consider the following statements. The meeting of the committee is held once every 3 months. Now, these kind of intricacies can also be asked in your examination. Make sure you are well aware of it. It is responsible for maintaining the inflation target. Section 45ZB of the amended RBI Act of 1934. It provides for an empowered 6-member Monetary Policy Committee. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Monetary Policy Committee is a very efficient committee because its main aim is to ensure that India's target remains in a range 2 to 6%. That means 4% of inflation is the ideal inflation rate. A little bit of inflation is necessary in the country. So it works in that favor. That makes second statement to be correct. The meeting of the committee is held 6 times a year. That means every 2 months it meets at least once. Okay, so once every 2 months. Okay, so first is incorrect, second is correct, third is also correct. Section 45ZB of the amended RBI Act talks about a 6-membered empowered monetary policy committee. First incorrect, second correct, third correct. How many are correct? 2 only will be correct. The correct answer. The RBI adopted an inflation targeting monetary policy regime in 2016. Remember this. With the help of this particular section, the MPC meets 6 times in a financial year. That means every 2 months at least. We have to put it like that, once. Regulation 7 of the RBI MPC and the Monetary Policy Process Regulation of 2016 says that a separate meeting is required to be scheduled as a part of the normal policy process. To discuss and draft the report that is to be sent to the government, the MPC is responsible for maintaining the inflation target. The range is 2:6. Between this only it should be. Below 2%, not good. Above 6%, not good. With reference to the genetically modified organisms, and gene-edited foods. Consider the following statements. Gene editing involves making precise changes to an organism's genome with the integration of foreign DNA elements. Gene editing and GMOs increase crop tolerance against climate change or climate stress. Genetically modified organisms are mainly used to produce crops that are herbicide resistant or produce pesticides. So, how many of the statements given above is or are correct? You know, when gene editing is done, it is generally done in order to cut out certain parts of the gene so that whatever fault is there in the gene can be, we can get rid of that. CRISPR-Cas9 is one of the tools to do it. Supposedly, this is a gene, and here, this part is the faulty part. If I remove this part, maybe an inherent cancer, a cancer that is passed from one generation to another, can be cured. So I will edit this part, and this part can be edited by CRISPR-Cas9, which is a tool. CRISPR-Cas9. But it is not necessary that I am putting another foreign DNA. This is not necessary. Here it is written with the integration of foreign DNA. No, it's not necessary. We are just editing it. We are cutting this part out. Alright. The first statement is incorrect because here it is written with the integration of foreign DNA. No. Gene editing and GMOs, yes, they increase tolerance against climate stresses. We can develop such crops. Also, genetically modified organisms are mainly used to produce crops that are herbicide resistant or produce pesticides. This is also correct. So, first is incorrect, second and third are correct, two only will be the correct answer. GMOs are organisms whose genetic material has been artificially altered. That means the scientists are altering it artificially, it is not natural. This DNA may be synthetic in origin or is sourced from another organism. Both the options are there. Gene editing involves making precise changes without the integration of foreign DNA elements. Also, why do we do genome editing? So that we have improved nutrition in food, we reduce food wastage, increase crop tolerance against other climate stresses. Moving on. Which airport was recently awarded its own unique international 3-letter code DXN by the International Air Transport Association, which is a Montreal-based international organization? Gorakhpur Airport, Bareilly Airport, Noida International Airport, Azamgarh Airport. The correct answer is Noida International Airport. It has got its own unique DXN. DXN means D here means Delhi, N means Noida, X may be connectivity, and this has been given by International Air Transport Association. The Noida International Airport in the phase 1 will be 65 km from Botanical Garden, Noida. It is proposed to be operational by the end of 2024. IATA is a Montreal-based international aviation trade association, and each airport has their own unique code. One can be given by IATA, another by International Civil Aviation Organization, which is an arm of the United Nations. Remember that, this could be asked in your prelims. Now, IATA provides 3-digit code like DXN, and this one provides 4-digit code. Okay, so 4-digit code which is provided by this United Nations body by the name of International Civil Aviation Organization. This is used by professions such as pilots, and the IATA provides the 3-digit one that is used by consumers such as us to see it on tickets, for signage, to understand the airport. So this is the difference between the two. Alright, let's move on. This is a practice question for you. If you can answer it, please answer it in the comment segment so that I can announce your names. The Digital Payment Index was launched by Ministry of Finance, National Payment Corporation of India, Reserve Bank of India, Indian Finance Association. Let me take the names of those students who have answered my last question correctly. So please stay with me. Yes, Simran has answered it correctly. Riya, thank you Riya. Shubham, Prabhat, Pragati, Padmashri, Mitlesh, thank you Mitlesh. Shubham again, Shubham, Chiranjit, no Chiranjit, it's all for 3. Kanchan, Vaibhav, Gopesh, my goodness, Golden, Ritu, Shantanu, Abhishek, Prachi, thank you so much. Rashika, Swati, Murshida, Shubhang, thank you Abul. Then Nikhil, thank you so much, Nikhil. Priyadarshan, good. Kanika, Omkar. Now answer this question as well and stay updated.